Yeah, most of these guys seem faster than me, so I will probably finish back here towards the rear, but we still push and we still try, because you never know what'll happen to the people in front. Ugh. And it is a full 25-minute race, just the regular time. Should do this while I'm thinking about it. There we go. So in case we need to come in for an emergency, we won't have that stuff automatically done. Oops. I was messing with the settings. I'm so used to games that do the string of lights and then the lights go out. So in iRacing, it always throws me off a little. They just, all of a sudden, the red lights turn green and you go. Used to having a little bit more time. More than happy to let these guys go a little crazy at the start. Oh, he went really slow through that corner. I don't really want to challenge anybody through this chicane though, so I'm just going to lift. We'll take it slow the first time through. Normally in this situation, I mean, if there were about 15 people in the race, I probably would have tried to charge ahead and stay ahead. But with only 9 total people, it's one of those situations where I can kind of afford to be a little bit easier at the start. Yeah, the first race of the day always starts pretty quickly. But we'll see what we can do. I have a feeling most of these guys will pick up their pace as we go, so it'll more be about sort of outlasting their mistakes. What? But you don't have to go down here? Wait, seriously, that's... What? I didn't know you could take the short way. Well, that explains why I was so much slower. That explains so much. So maybe I'm not slower than these guys. I assumed you couldn't take that cut through because I've never seen a version of this track that has that. Well, that's unfortunate. But also very funny. So now I have to completely figure out that last chicane. Because I've literally never driven that version of this circuit with that shortcut there. So I'm just going to have to completely figure that out on the fly. That'll be interesting. Trying to figure out a set of corners on the fly. Again, I mean, Race Room doesn't, like, it doesn't even have that version of the track in it. Took a little bit too much oh, come on, car. I hate the way that this thing just keeps bouncing around. Well, this race is probably done for at this point. I mean, that spin, with only 9 people, that spin is pretty deadly. I mean, I would have to gain massive amounts of time every single lap to have even a chance. But as usual, we never give up. It's always a reason to keep trying. And surprisingly, I didn't get even an off track for that somehow. Which is very, very odd. It's one of those weird things, though. I would have expected cones on the other section to sort of tell you, hey, you can't go through that other way. Although it looks like there might be freebies here. 2 people in the pits now.
2 minute 3.2.
Alright. Well, it looks like there are mistakes going on ahead, because I'm much closer to both 5th and 6th place now. So if I can keep it clean for the rest of this, I might be able to pick up some spots. It's just going to be a matter of not being too aggressive. Ugh. Had an itch on my ear. So I'm probably just going to be a little less aggressive here for most of the race. But I'm definitely reeling in 6th and 5th. Yeah, I wish it was iRacing giving me credit, but iRacing never gives credit for anything. iRacing just takes. It's happy. What? I have no idea what these people are talking about. Oh, well, somebody ahead of me is pitting. I almost wonder if I can just stay in 4th for that. Seems like you almost don't even need to slow down for that, which is wild. Did the two in front of me pit?
3.2. Good job, man. Keep on him. He's gonna fade.
What in the world is going on this race? Like, there's not a mandatory pit stop. There's just people randomly entering the pits. I am so confused right now. Somehow, after not realizing what part of the track I should actually use at the end of the lap and spinning all by myself, I find myself in 5th. This is just insanity. Oh, 10 minutes of repairs, ouch. Well, his race is done for. I'm gonna have to look and see what in the world happened after this one. This sounds like there was some craziness. Hey, Ladio. Well, I subscribe to Nietzsche's idea, so the universe offers me a gift. Would be more appropriate. 24 minutes. How did they all ruin their cars? I'm gonna lightly tap the brakes, but I think that's all I need to do here, yeah. That's a crazy end to a lap at Zolder.
1 minute 51.3.
Still slower than I should be, though. Because the guys up front were doing 48s in... Well, they qualified at 48s, I should say. Most people in iRacing seem to qualify much, much faster than they can race, for whatever reason. Whereas I tend to just qualify in my race setup anyway. And boy, do I give myself good gifts. So I guess somebody just lost it and a bunch of people ran into him. So funny enough, that spin may have actually saved my race, because if I was close enough, I may have also gotten caught up in all of that. It looks like 2nd and 3rd are mixing it up. We'll have to try and watch our gap to 4th. It's been around 20 seconds the last couple laps. Because you never know, we may still have a good fight on our hands. Now, what would be hilarious is if first and second take each other out, and then third and fourth take each other out, and if I'm the only one left running at the end of the race. That would be fun. Yeah, for me, it's usually more along the lines of, hey, you, do you want this gift? Yes? Alright. Do you deserve it? Hell no. We're getting it anyway. Cha-ching. Oh.
1 minute 51.6. That was a good one, my man. Good one. Keep it up.
The funny part is, though, taking the regular chicane, I'm not that much slower. Just because I'm so much more comfortable with that turn-in point, that braking point, and that last corner. I think that's where I'm probably losing most of my time, this sequence. Story of your life. This car is fun, though. But yeah, it seems like the gap is very, very stable right now. Although, suddenly I'm in fourth. Once again, I'm just randomly picking up spots somehow. If Zolder is always like this, then I love it. Like, this is fantastic. Just freebies out the wazoo. I don't know if I even have any incidents either. Now we just try and gain on third and potentially get a podium out of this. Guys with lots of repair times will probably start leaving soon. Well, first place is actually catching up to me on the backside. That's crazy. We're just gonna try lifting this time, not even braking. Yeah, so it is basically flat out. I mean, not obviously not flat out because you have to lift for the whole thing. But it's much faster than I thought it was.
1 minute 50.5.
And that's still 2 seconds off pace of what the top guys qualified at. But that's not bad, considering this is the first time I've driven that last chicane that way. Oh, that was better there. That was much better. That second corner complex. Still not sure if that counts as like 3 or 4 turns or just 2. It's definitely 2 distinct turns. But it could also be 3 or 4 turns depending on how you classify everything. Still got 12 minutes left. But it seems like the gap to third is pretty stable, so it would take a mistake from them. Looks like there was a big mistake by second, though, because second place is 40 some odd seconds ahead of me, but first is 50 some odd seconds behind. There's a huge gap between those two. So I think something happened with second, third, and fourth. But yeah, I'm getting faster because I'm getting more comfortable with that. Okay, there's an off track. So that's my first.
Now let's take it off. Try to find our groove here. Doing a good job.
The easiest time to give up this time is going to be going into turn 1. So I'm actually not going to brake until up here. And here we'll give up most of that time. Because trying to give up that time on the straightaway would have lost us more time. The way that you yield time in this game is just stupid, though. Or the way that it detects that you're yielding time is stupid. Because again, I was supposed to yield about 2 seconds and I lost over 3 to the car ahead of me. So their detection is not correct at all. It's at least better than it was before. Before it wouldn't tell you how much time you had to give up. And now first place is suddenly right back up with second. I'm so confused by my relative meter. I wonder if it's just because there's so few people that it starts switching, as they all cross the line, it starts switching them to underneath me instead. Because there's just not enough people to fill the spots that it would normally put up there. How much time? 10 minutes. So we're more than halfway through to getting a very easy 4th place. Use the gas to stabilize the car a little bit there. The first part of that chicane is actually much scarier than the second part. Also, I just realized I find it kind of funny that the game thought that I gained 2 seconds worth of time off of barely cutting the grass at the start of that chicane. Although unfortunately now 3rd place is pulling away from me. Although his I rating is actually lower than mine. Which I know because of the car number. But he's going to get a bigger gain out of this than I will. And the other 5 will lose quite a bit for their shenanigery. I mean, honestly, once we get within about 7 minutes, if I really wanted to, I could just park it. And I'm not going to lose anything. But in terms of safety rating, I'm going to gain more by doing more clean laps. So as long as I keep the off-tracks non-existent, then I will theoretically gain more overall by just going around. Even though it's not very exciting to go around by yourself. But it is Zolder. There's worse tracks that you could be. Like Okayama, that's a really, really boring track to run by yourself. There's just no fun part to it. I am so scared that one of the times I'm going to take that a little too fast and just the car's just going to spear to the inside wall.
1 minute 52.2.
Well, that was a slow lap. Oh, 6th place is back on track, which means 5th is also. Either that or he's laps behind 5th. Nope, 5th is not back on track. So he must have gone into the pits before 5th. So there is still a fight on behind me for positions if they can get back out on track and start making laps. They are running out of time to do so also. I'm still braking too early for that. But it's better to be safe through there than to throw it to the side. Like I did on the second lap. It's very easy to do in that spot. Really, there's no rush either, because after this it's just lots of GT3 practice. I actually want to make a setup this time. Because it's at Lime Rock Park, and it's a good way to test making an asymmetrical setup. This is just not exciting though, at all. Oh, that was an off track? Just extend the curb and then it's not an off track.
1 minute 51.4.
was close. Tires are starting to be a little worn. I was closer to where I want to brake. Still a little early. 5 minutos, about 3 more laps considering where the leader is. Although another option is to slow down enough so that the leader passes me and do one last lap, but that also, I just don't like the way that feels. I mean, if I have to do another lap, I'd rather just have to do another lap. But then again, if the leader's like right on your tail, a lot of times it's perfectly fine to just do it at that point. I mean, first of all, it's nice for the leader of the race to be able to get through you, but beyond that then, they don't have to worry about, hey, do I need to continue driving or can I just let off the gas? Similar to what happened in, what was it, the Kia Cadillac race last week? When the leader almost passed me right at the start finish line. His race was over and mine wasn't. He just kept going. Trying to race me even though I actually had time left, so it does help avoid situations like that from time to time. Ooh, 8th is even back on track now. You guys trying to make up some spots. And I'm just consistently losing time to 3rd place now. And the guys coming back on track out of the pits will actually probably be pretty quick, because they should have lower fuel and fresh tires. Unless they didn't take tires, but I don't know why you wouldn't after all that mandatory work anyway. Now the annoying thing is when they come up and then try to race you. So I might just let this guy go, because most of the time they don't, most of the time they don't understand how to just let the people on the lead lap go. Hey, Jay Walker. I am in Florida in the United States. That's about as close as I like to state to where I am. Because people be crazy. People be crazy.
1 minute 51.4.
Judging by where the leader's at, the next lap will probably be the last one, so I'll have 2 laps left. On the bright side, this lapped car behind me is not pushed the issue at all, which is good. Aha. Well, I mean, obviously, the way I speak would make it pretty obvious that I was at least born in the US, but yeah. The time that I stream makes it a toss-up as to where I live now. Not to mention the fact that it's storming outside, so a lot of people would equate that to England. British weather joke. But no, this time of year in Florida, it storms all the time also. Basically every single day around 3 to 5 p.m. it'll be a big storm for about an hour. Yes, it is summer. Oh, man. Car wanted to go wide there.
1 minute 52.1.
Well, we should be able to finish this off cleanly, which is good. Hey, the guy behind me actually made up a position. Went from 8th to 7th. Hey, and the guy ahead of me went from 6th to 5th. So they both were actually able to make up a spot by going back out. That's kind of cool. Usually the laps are too piled up to make that worth it when I get into a big ol' issue. I didn't lose all that much time to 3rd place, though. I mean, I figured he would pull out a huge gap over me by the end. That is very true, Jaywalker. Oh, Bank, that is very chilly. Very chilly indeed. Must be way up north somewhere. How was that an off track?
Like 4 or 5 more.
I don't know if the guy behind me just lost it or intentionally lost it. That was funny.
Check it this time. Good job, everybody. Way to work your ass off. Earl, good job up there.
Not the most interesting race,
Good job,
but
boss man.
we managed a 4th because all of those people crashed. I've got to see what in the world happened to all of these guys. Because obviously I had a terrible start. Wait a second, that's... I think these guys had the first accident, so let's watch here. It's just Belgium. It had to have been on this either the 2nd or the 3rd lap. Because that's when I had my spin, and that's when I suddenly got free spots. Oh ho ho, that looked bad. That looked very bad. Oh ho ho ho. I feel really bad for this guy. And he just overcooks it going in. Overcorrects twice. Oh, 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 oh man. Let's see what this guy's view was. Holy cow! Oh, and he still taps the wall. Oh, that's gotta be so frustrating. I want to see that from onboard. He gets so close to avoiding all of this. Right there. If he hadn't hit the throttle, if he had let it straighten itself out first, he would have had it. But I would have easily done the same thing. And the funny part is, where I'm at, I don't see any of this. Like, I just come through and I'm like, what happened? There's a bunch of people in the pits. Because I don't see any of the cleanup after it. That's funny. Oh. Yeah, the replay options for iRacing are quite nice. Oh, that was funny.